What if I told you that the future isn't fixed? That your life, the one that you're living right now, is only one of many possible paths? And what if, just by knowing how the future really works, you could change your trajectory and step into the version of your life where everything finally clicks? Your purpose, your relationships, your finances, your fulfillment. Well, that's what we're diving into today, and this is a deep one. So let's get started. Hey, before we jump into this, here's something you should know. If you want to find and live your highest future, I'm giving away full access to our premium Zygon Mind tools, even remote viewing training, where you can learn how to access the future free for 30 days. Stick around, and I'll show you exactly how to get it. When most people think about the future, they imagine a straight line, a single timeline that they're stuck on, like fate or destiny. But that's not actually how it works. The future is more like a tree, and each branch is a potential trajectory, a different version of your life based on the choices you make and the ones you don't. And here's where it gets fascinating. Once you open a specific branch, what we actually call a gateway, and you walk through that gateway, the trajectory door opens and it's locked. That path starts to unfold with a certain momentum. Seems a bit magical because you seem to meet the right people. You get the right flow of ideas that support your pathway. Things just start falling into place, like you've stepped into the groove of your own destiny, one that clicks. We call that your optimum trajectory. There's a reason why so many people feel lost, because they're living their current life trajectory, but it's not the optimum one. Maybe it's a default path or even a destructive one based on fear, pressures, or survival. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even know they're not on their optimum trajectory. Things just aren't clicking. They're not necessarily unhappy, but they're not lit up either. They've settled for comfort over their calling. Now imagine this instead. You wake up each day with clarity, purpose, excitement. You know exactly where you're going, and it just feels right. That's what happens when you start living your OT, your optimum trajectory. Let me tell you how it works. But first, a little background. Back in the 80s, during the Cold War, the Pentagon was exploring with ways to develop the human psi apparatus, which is the ability to tap into psychic functioning and use it as an intelligence collection tool. It all started at Stanford Research Institute and evolved into a technology called remote viewing, the ability to access information remote in time and space using only your mind and a pen and a paper. Turns out this top secret program actually worked, and it was used by multiple intelligence services. In 1989, the program was ushered out of military intelligence and brought into the private sector through my company, SciTech. We advanced the protocols, trained tens of thousands of people, and used it to solve all kinds of problems and mysteries. And one of the most profound things we discovered was this, that you can view your own future and see what-if scenarios for it. Turns out the future is a very funny business. But to simplify it, most people have actually 3 distinct trajectories. Even though some people do seem to have a destiny, and that's a whole other conversation. What we discovered is when you switch to your optimum trajectory in life, everything changes. Your OT is not always the easiest path, but it's the one where you're the most fulfilled, the most successful, and the most authentic you. We'll get into the specifics of exactly how that works in the Zygon Academy if you decide to learn how to do this. But for now, just know, if you want to know your optimum trajectory and change your life to it, you can. And when you walk through the right gateway, everything starts to shift. Now, here's the next layer. and it's a critical one. Even if you know your best possible future, you still have to walk into it. And that means reprogramming your mind to have the confidence and the clarity to do that, and then taking action to align with that trajectory. And here's where we get into the other side of all of this, which is most of your decisions and your results in life are being driven by your subconscious programs, which were written when you were a child. I've talked about this a lot and will continue to do so because it's at the core of why you get stuck in life and are not able to achieve higher. So even though remote viewing may show you the optimum path, it's the subconscious programming, the mind tech that we deploy that helps you upgrade those unconscious negative mind scripts and then actually be able to do it, to activate your optimum future path. When you combine these two things, knowing your optimum future and then being able to program your mind to walk it, you're no longer drifting through life. You're driving it. I've been involved in the mind tech field for more than 40 years now. And what I realize is a lot of this, what I'm talking about with you right now, is still very new to most people. Because most operate their lives in a reactive way, kind of like a pinball machine being knocked around by life, being controlled by circumstances that you encounter. Some, however, are just awakening to the reality of how powerful their minds truly are and what can be achieved if properly trained. Inside the Zygon Academy, we teach you how to install the remote viewing reflex, a trained protocol that was used by military intelligence and remains the principal training method still today after 40 years. When we train new viewers, we're installing a protocol that activates their innate psi apparatus, and that allows the mind to pull data from the universal field of all information, the matrix, as it was termed by Ingo Swann in the 80s, long before the movies of the same name. This amazing skill, paired along with subconscious reprogramming, gives you an unimaginable power in your life, an ability to know your best future and outcomes for any goal or desire that you might want to have, and a means to achieve it. You start noticing synchronicities. You meet the right people. The random aspects of your life begin to feel orchestrated, because it is. So now you might be wondering, how do I find my optimum trajectory? Well, you can hire a professional remote viewer to do that, someone trained by SciTech, who has at least 10 years of experience doing these. But honestly, what I recommend is that you learn how to do it yourself. You can learn the skill, and then once you know the protocol, you'll use it for everything. Business decisions and knowing outcomes in advance. This includes things like inventing new products, solving complex technical problems, creating optimum marketing strategies, negotiating deals and knowing the other person's weak points, legal matters and optimizing the outcome, health issues and knowing what to do to solve problems, stock trading and even sports betting, your life mission, solving mysteries, answering questions like who really built the Great Pyramids and what were they really used for, and are we even alone in the universe? And when you combine this skill with Zygon's subconscious mind training tools, you have a personal power that is really amazing. And you're no longer reacting to life. You're designing it. Okay, let's do a few questions before we wrap up this session. What if I feel stuck in a life I didn't choose? Well, that feeling is actually your inner guidance system speaking up. You're likely on a default trajectory, a path that was shaped by programming or other people's expectations of you. The good news, you can reprogram your mind and remote view your best possible future, and then start aligning it right now. Being stuck doesn't have to be permanent. It's just a sign that it's time to change direction. Question 2, is remote viewing the same as being psychic? Well, not exactly. While both are tapping into the same psi mind apparatus, TRV is a trained protocol, a systematic methodology that removes imagination and guesswork. It's like the difference between dreaming about treasure and using a GPS to actually find it. TRV installs a reflex that allows you to gather accurate data on demand. It's not mystical, it's trainable. And when you do it, you're not meditating or staring at a crystal ball. It looks more like you're solving a math problem. Question 3, can I find my ideal partner using TRV? Yes, you can. You can cue a session to locate the circumstances, the location, or gateway where you're most likely to meet your optimum mate, which is what we call it. Not everyone has one, but if you do, TRV can help you find them, and we've done this a lot. We've done it for clients, and it's led to life-changing connections for them. Question 4, what's the difference between a vision and an optimum trajectory? Well, a vision is something that you create. It often comes from your imagination or your desires. An OT or optimum trajectory is something that you discover. It already exists in the field. TRV lets you access it. It's like reading a future page in your life's book. Then you can reverse engineer how to walk toward it. It's like jumping ahead into the future and seeing what is possible, and then once knowing what this is, you just get on that path and things start happening. 5, how long does it take to shift paths once I start? Well, it depends upon your level of resistance and alignment. Some people feel it immediately. They have a gateway moment and then things start clicking very fast. For others, it's gradual. But once you make the decision and start using the tools, your subconscious begins realigning itself. You'll feel it. It's like a current pulling you towards something greater. 6, can anyone learn TRV or do you need a special gift? No special gift is needed, just a trained protocol that you install. It's a skill, not a gift or talent. Anyone with average intelligence can do this. They just have to be willing to put in the time and the effort. And because you're learning a completely new skill and installing this new reflex that's never been activated, it's uncomfortable at first. But if you want the rewards, which are immense, you just stick with it, and within a few weeks of work, it's installed. Question 7, what if I already feel like I'm on the wrong path? Well, then this is perfect timing. You can remote view your OT and pivot now. And that's the beauty of this. It doesn't matter where you are in your life right now. What matters is that you make a decision to take action and change it. And when you discover what that is, well, there isn't anything more powerful or more empowering. Can I use this to improve my business or finances? Absolutely. Most of our viewers certainly do. You can TRV new product ideas, investment decisions, strategic moves, and even pinpoint your ideal market or message. When you can access the best case scenarios in advance and download the future and know an outcome, you have an incredible edge in business. Even after all these years, I'm still blown away by the things I discover when I'm doing it. Question, what if I'm skeptical? Well, that's great. In fact, skeptics make the best viewers. The reason? It's because they actually put it to the test and they work it. I've trained well over 20,000 people in the last 3 decades. And the skeptics and most people that just follow the structure, they end up doing the best. The worst students are those who think that they have their own system or they end up taking shortcuts. Here's how to try all of this for free. Subscribe to this channel, leave a comment about the future that you want to create, then click the link in the description to activate your free month of Zygon Premium. You'll get access to the full TRV basic training, all the subconscious programming tools, and more. It's all in the Zygon app and on the Zygon Academy. The future isn't something that just happens to you. At least it doesn't have to be that way. It's something you create. And now you have the tools to shape it and the power to know who you are and how you fit into the scheme of the universe. I'm Dane Spots. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future.